I'm Audrey from Michigan. Now that you are familiar with the types of seatbelt retractors, let's review the steps to test for retractor lockability. Now you've already learned that a properly installed car seat must have the lap portion of the seatbelt locked at a fixed length at all times. There are 3 steps to confirm whether a seatbelt retractor has a lockability feature to secure a car seat.
The following steps will confirm if a retractor has a lockability feature to secure a car seat. Number 1, slowly and gently pull all of the webbing out of the retractor. Do not pull the webbing out quickly, as this could trigger the emergency locking feature. Number 2, slowly release a few inches of the webbing into the retractor, listening for a clicking sound. Number 3, while still holding the webbing, gently try to pull the webbing out again. You have a locking retractor if you heard the clicking sound when releasing the webbing back into the retractor, and the retractor does not allow you to pull the webbing back out. You have a locking retractor that you may use to install a car seat. No further lockability checks are needed.
Let's look at another seatbelt and test it for lockability. Step 1, slowly and gently pull all the webbing out of the seatbelt retractor, being careful not to pull it too quickly. Step 2, when you reach the end of the webbing, slowly release a few inches of webbing back into the retractor and listen for a clicking sound. While still holding the webbing, gently try to pull the webbing out again. So this time the results were different. We did not hear a clicking sound when releasing the webbing back into the retractor, and the retractor allows the webbing to be pulled back out. This means that this is a non-locking retractor, and further lockability checks are going to be needed if you're going to install a car seat using this kind of seatbelt. The tests for lockability are a good way to check how the seatbelt locks for installing a car seat. You should also confirm your findings by using the vehicle owner's manual for information about seatbelts and car seats. Have the caregiver help you find the section in their owner's manual that gives this information. And when talking to caregivers about seatbelts, try to keep things simple. Use non-technical terms when discussing seatbelts and focus on the types of retractors that are found in their vehicle. The most important thing for the caregivers to understand is how to lock the seatbelts in their own vehicle.
Just to recap for you real quick. Step number 1, we're going to go ahead and pull the webbing all the way out. We're going to do that slowly, and we're going to continue until we reach the end of our webbing. When we get to the end of the webbing, we're going to move to step 2. We are slowly going to let that webbing go back into the retractor. As it's doing this, you may hear a clicking noise. Not in all cases, but you may hear that clicking noise. We're going to let that webbing go back in for a little bit. We're going to stop. We're going to move to step 3, and we are going to go ahead and we are going to tug on that webbing. If we tug on that webbing and we are unable to pull any additional webbing out of the retractor, we are now in an automatic locking mode, and that would be your locking mechanism for your child safety seat. If we pull that webbing all the way out, and when we reach the end, we let the webbing go back in, and then we try to move to step 3 again, and we pull it all the way out, the webbing moves freely. At this point in time, there's no locking mechanism in your retractor. We would move to step 4 in the process.